What's going on, people? Welcome back to yet another pre-game show. My name is Mordzs and I'm here with Javena, and we are here to discuss Manchester basketball versus Gimle, the #1 Norway team or Norwegian team right now. So look, it's going to be a big game. It's going to be an intense game. What do you think the boys kind of need to do to get us this win? How do you think we're going to get this win against this Norwegian team?
Yeah. Being fearless, but every time I see the boys play, we play better when we just go and attack and we're fearless. And I think this new coaching staff that we've got, they look like they've got a wonderful blend of beautiful cohesion. I think just being fearless, go out there, attack it, and just kind of don't wait. Don't wait for opportunities, go and create the opportunities. And I think when we do that and we just go out there and we lead, I don't think there's nobody that can really mess with us.
I mean, you touched on the coaching stuff. I want to talk about that a little bit. You obviously train people. That's something that you do. What are some of the things that you kind of use to help bring that energy to the people that you're training, or give them more confidence? What are the things that the coaches you feel like they need to do as well to give the boys the edge to get them over the line as well?
They're doing it, brother. One thing with coaching, whether it's gym, whether it's basketball, football, cricket, coaching, I know how to identify good coaching. One thing that the Manchester staff that are doing, eye contact and being here with the players. I've seen it in so many professional teams where the coaching is so distant, and sometimes players don't even get the eye contact or the human connection with the coach. They're kind of like passing ships. I always make sure that with my clients, when I'm coaching, I'm here, man. I'm there. I'm human. I'm speaking to them, letting them know there could be a fire or a tornado, but I'm locked in with you to let you know that this is me and you talking. And that's how the information kind of filters through me and you. And the staff at Manchester, I'm looking at every time I go to a game and I'm watching, I'm looking at the interaction. And they're fully locked in with the players, which is beautiful to see. And that gives the players a belief that my coach believes in me, so I'm going to ride for him and I'm going to go out there and perform. 100%. So I think the coaches are doing really good.
100%. I love that. I mean, that's some great insight to what it means to be a coach. And I feel like with the coaches anyway, I think they've done a great job. I think at the start it was a bit, new team and all that kind of stuff, and it's a new whole coaching stuff. But as the games have gone on, you're seeing real progression in the way they've been able to manage the team with new players coming in and out. I really want to touch on some of these new players as well. I mean, Gabe, we spoke about it before.
Gabe!
I mean, you speak on some of the players that you want to see do well and do you feel like have done well in recent games?
Gabe, if you lot have not seen the clip, go on the channels, the YouTube, the TikTok, the Instagram. This man screaming at the ball like a madman. That's passion, brother. That's what I used to be. That is passion. That's what we want to see. I don't know what the ball did to him to make him scream at the ball. That's passion. I love Gabe. I've been a big Zach fan for a hot minute. I'm loving Nicholson. I think he's growing on me. I think he's really coming out of shot. I think he's finding his feet a bit now in Manchester. He's looking a bit more comfortable on the court. And when I first see Nicholson, I walked past him and I said, gee, he's big.
7 foot.
And I said, use that body. That just be on your Shaquille O'Neal. Just use that body. And in the last couple of games, I feel like he's getting powerful. I feel like he's realising his size.
Confidence.
His confidence. And I'm thinking, if he carries on, he's going to be a massive problem for other people. Great for us, but he's going to cause people major problems just with his size and his physicality.
100%. And look, last one to touch on the actual game itself. So, I mean, hopefully we can win this. We do go through into the next round. And, if you guys don't know, if you do finish in the top 8, that means you get to play a home game. I mean, you touched on it before, but kind of speak on what it means to play at home for Manchester basketball and getting into that top 8 and bringing it back to Manchester. Hopefully that can help us take us forward.
Well, it means everything. It means everything because I don't think the players won't realise because they're in it. But the joy that they're bringing to the city, the togetherness. I put my home, like anytime there's a home game and I'm available, I put it in my diary because I need to be there. They're doing that to the city. The organisation in general is doing that for the city. They're bringing back a passion for basketball that we've not seen in many years. So for that, if them guys get a hold, listen, the place will be packed, the energy will be packed, and people just really want them to represent Manchester the way that they're doing every single time they step on the court.
100%, and that's right. I think the support from the fan base to not just the players, but like you said, the staff, everyone who's involved, super important. We want to make it a community, and we already have that community. So, guys, that is our pre-game show. That's our preview for Manchester basketball versus Gimle in Norway. Hopefully, we can get the win and bring it back home to Manchester. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next show.
Yes, good evening and welcome to Bergen in Norway. Dan Routledge and Rob Paternostro with you for what could be a historic night for Manchester basketball. Victory for Manchester tonight guarantees themselves a playoff place. Obviously, as Mordzs has just said, they'll be eyeing the top 8 if they can get there and get that home game. But first of all, you've got to book your spot in those knockout stages, and they've got a chance here tonight.
Yeah, a couple opportunities, Dan, here. 2 more road games left, and this one you would think would be the one that they can grab. Gimle had some trouble here in this competition. Only won 1 game so far. So Manchester certainly favored tonight. But they got to go out there and keep that high-powered offense going. They're averaging 91 points per game in the ENBL.
And that's one thing that Gimle have struggled with, putting points on the board. They obviously they cannot qualify for the playoffs with only 1 win so far. But they've got a couple of games themselves left to play, trying to go out on a high, but it is going to be the question of whether they've got the firepower to keep with this Manchester team.
Yeah, no question. Only 77 points per game in the ENBL. Domestically, 91, though, so it's in there for them to make it happen. You know, you talk about domestically with this league, they're 15-3 in their league, so they know a lot about winning, but obviously they're going to have to improve a lot on the offensive end, especially from the three-point line. They're only shooting 32% from three-point range in the ENBL.
And Manchester have shown that is certainly a strength that they have. They can get really hot and knock down a lot of threes.
Yeah, they can. And when you look at the numbers, 11 makes per game, 7th most in the league. And they really space the floor out well, and they attack all night. Their guards are really difficult to deal with. So it'll be interesting to see if there's any change in defense tonight to try to slow this Manchester team down.
A little light-handed Manchester today. No Kayem Cleary, no Duke Shelton for them. That's obviously 2 important pieces, but they have a lot of depth to cover.
Yeah, they do. And, you know, you look at Cleary, he's been exceptional this season in Super League basketball, one of the more exciting players around. So disappointed not to see him play, but you're right. They do have depth, especially at that guard position. Max Jones, P.J. Smith, Jordan Johnson. But take a look for Zach Irvin to step up tonight. This has been his competition so far. He's averaging 15 points per game, 10 rebounds. He's 3rd overall in rebounding, so he may get an opportunity to play more minutes tonight.
And the interesting one for me as well is Matt Nicholson inside. The size of him is something that really the Norwegian team doesn't have anything approaching what he can bring to the floor.
Yeah, you know, with Nicholson, not a big scorer, but certainly an impact player on defense with his size and length. His screening also on the offensive end frees up these guards to score. But when you look at him, they're going to have to do a better job up front. And the guy that's going to have to do it, Milovan Savic, the 38-year-old, in his 8th season for his team in Norway. He's a guy that's going to have to control the glass and control the interior.
Well, that, I think, will be one of the key things. And transition as well. Manchester, you've played them a couple of times recently. They are a team that like to get up and down the floor.
They do. After misses and makes, even when you put the ball in the basket, you have to make sure that you get bodies back. You could see Manchester coming out on the floor. They are athletic, fast. So that's going to be a challenge to deal with, but certainly, a long trip for Manchester. You know, you start looking at these games, especially when you hit January and February, the travel adds up. So that's part of the deal that they'll have to contend with tonight.
Well, the 2 5s are out on the floor. Our 3 officials are set and ready to go. We got a thumbs up from the table as well. So I think we can get this one underway here in Bergen. Remember, Manchester on the brink of qualification. It would take an astounding set of results to deny them anyway, but 1 win will definitely guarantee it, and it is Nicholson who gets the opening tip and Manchester who will get the opening possession. Here's Jones. Added to Cassie, moving off the ball, taking it inside, out to Nicholson. Back to Added to Cassie, 6 now on the shot clock. Added to Cassie, drops it off to Nicholson, and there's Savic with the block, but Irvin on the offensive rebound.
And that's what Irvin does. He's sneaky along that baseline. Good guy to finish around the basket.
Well, Savic threatened the 3 on the trail there, turned it down. Graver back to Savic. Nice little pick and roll action. A pass was probably a little late. Savic was open for a second there, but Manchester able to recover and come away with the ball. Jones gets to the free throw line with the pull-up, and if you give him a shot like that, he's going to knock it down.
And he's going to take it as well. He's usually really aggressive, especially early.
Oh, quick attack. Nicholson providing the defense. Graver can't convert over the top, and leaking out pretty quickly is Irvin for the score.
Good job there advancing the basketball, and already Gimle having a problem dealing with Manchester's speed.
Well, Savage trying to stretch the floor out with the three. Irvin with the rebound. Well, that is the counter action, I guess, to Nicholson's size at the rim to try and pull him out to the three-point line.
Yeah, I think that's going to be something they have to look to. And there you see Max Jones. He does such a really good job at attacking the basket. Strong body, so he can take the contact and finish around the rim.
Well, it's going to be Max Jones from the free throw line to try and stretch this 6-0 lead.
Max Jones having a heck of a rookie season. His ENBL numbers are solid. 17 points per game. 56% field goal shooter in the competition.
And he makes both of them from the free throw line, and Manchester jumping out to a big early lead. There's going to be a substitution for the home team. Lamu will sit down, and checking in for the first time is Odfel.
Expect this team to really move the ball side to side, and that first possession they did move it side to side. They didn't deliver it properly, but pretty patient at times on offense.
Greva tossing it up, trying to get the first score for Gimle, but nothing doing as yet. Might need a timeout here if Manchester come up with another score and open up a double-figure lead inside 2 minutes. Added to Cassie. Just bobbled the ball. Woodfeld comes away with it. Graver is open. His shot doesn't go. Adetukasi is running, has Nicholson for company. He doesn't need him. Foul is called. I think that might be on the floor.
And that's what they wanted to do there, stop the break. And you would assume that that was a conversation where they will use those fouls to stop that transition attack.
Well, they got 2 fouls on the board already 2 minutes in. The danger of using them early is that you start sending Manchester to the free throw line. Jones lets it fly for 3, back iron. Savage with the rebound. Johnson along the baseline. Odfeld in the corner. Still they can't get on the board. 2.5 minutes gone. Gimle without a score. Adetukasi takes it inside. He misses from close range. Well, they've had some good looks to open up a double-figure lead, Manchester. They've not been able to do it. No way past Nicholson there for Staff.
Good. Yeah, sorry, Dan. Good job from Nicholson there not to foul. You know, stand tall. He does a good job of that. He doesn't need to foul with that kind of size.
Inline ball, which is now into Savage. Haven't seen much of Javonte Johnson yet. Manchester have done a good job of keeping the ball out of his hands. Odfeld, fans counting down the shot clock, drops it off to Savage. It's blocked by Nicholson. It'll be a shot clock violation. Great defensive play by Matt Nicholson.
You could see the size advantage he has inside. He's really using it. Great timing there from Nicholson. You know, Nicholson doesn't do too much offensively as far as like looking to be aggressive, looking to score. But on the defensive end, he's always that anchor in the back. And I think Manchester's done some different things with him as of late. They've kind of kept him back in the paint. Saw him early in the year jumping out a little bit more.
Well, Jones will bring it forward. 3 minutes gone. And they have an 8-0 lead. Make that 11-0 as Smith hits the triple. And Gimle in a whole heap of trouble right now without the ability to put the ball in the basket. Smith called for the foul.
Gimle came down the other end on defense and went to a 2-3 zone, and Manchester said, one pass, wide open shot to give him the 11-0 lead.
Well, just a slight delay. I think there's an issue at the table. I don't know whether it's related to the shot clock. Yes, it is. They're just trying to sort that out. I think they reset it by mistake.
Gimle really struggling on offense. Obviously 0 points so far. but they do have 2 turnovers as well. 0 for 7 from the field, 0 for 4 from 2, 0 for 3 from 3. And they've had a couple decent looks so far, too, just haven't knocked them down.
Well, the shot clock has been reset to 19. Down low to Johnson, back out to Savage, trying to again stretch the floor with that 3, but he can't knock them down. He's missed a couple from out there already. Here's Smith. Out to Adita Cassie. Smith again. Along the baseline. Adita Cassie pumps on the 3, takes it into the paint, but can't convert. Gets his own rebound, though. New 14 for Manchester. Smith is going to let it fly off the mark. Johnson pulls in the rebound. Johnson driving all the way to the hole, and finally, the fans 4 minutes in have something to cheer about.
Javante Johnson, he's been their star in this competition. 18 points per game for the rookie.
Nice idea, but the pass was overcooked. But Adita Cassie was in the corner anyway. Yeah, Manchester doing a good job on the offensive glass. This time it's Smith coming up with it. Adita Cassie same again. This time he knocks it down.
Well, Adita Cassie is not a guy to give another opportunity from 3, especially from that corner.
Well, just over 4 minutes gone, and the first time out of the game called by Gimle. What's the biggest concern if you're in their huddle right now, Rob? Is it the 14 you've given up or the 2 that you scored? Both are bad.
I think they've had decent looks on the other end of the floor. So you tell your guys, hey, keep firing, keep letting it go. Those will go in. But definitely the defensive end, the quickness, the speed of Manchester, but now the offensive glass as well. Sitting down in that zone, and it's going to be tough to rebound.
Teams making their way back out onto court now. Gimle basket 2. Manchester basketball 14 here. As Manchester look like they want to punch that ticket to the knockout stages as early as they can here tonight. One win will take them to 5, and that will be enough to be guaranteed a place in the top 16. Top 8 gets you a home game. Again, Nicholson changing shots, but it's stolen away by Johnson. He runs it back out of his hands, knocked away. It will be a Gimle ball from the end line.
Javante Johnson, we've talked about him being their danger man. You usually can tell who is the most dangerous player on the floor because number 7, Irvin, usually will be guarding him. He started out on Johnson. Johnson, I think, is going to get a break now.
It's going to be an end-line ball. Shot is up and short, and Nicholson able to pull in the rebound. Nice pass from Jordan Johnson. Is jammed home by Kane Henry.
What a play from Johnson. A good passer, but nice to see Henry back with that athleticism at the rim.
Well, I want that's out of bounds. They will get that back. They want that one back. Orchfield was under the basket with an opportunity to score. Wasn't able to lay it home. Maybe just rushed it a little bit because the problem is whenever they've got near the basket, Nicholson's been there sending things back, and maybe he changed the shot without even being there. Graver to inbound. Lobs it all the way back to Ulrich. Graver looking to penetrate, creates a little bit of space and knocks it down.
Well, Graver did a good job there, remaining on balance after he took the bump to get a much-needed 2.
Johnson. Nicholson putting it on the floor. Out to Kyle Carey. He's left alone for three. And, oh, yes, it does go in at the second attempt. Had a think, but did drop.
Kyle Carey, a much more confident shooter this year. Letting it go.
Another block for Nicholson. He is just denying everything. His third block of the game. Well, Jones, a little too much dribble there and lost the ball out off his own leg.
Well, Nicholson dominating play underneath the basket. He's going to take a seat now. And, Gimle certainly didn't stop attacking after Nicholson blocked shot after shot. And maybe now with him off the floor, they'll have a little bit more luck around the rim.
Well, they'll be glad to see him sitting down, I think it's fair to say. And as you say, straight down the middle. And this time, there is a layup there for Graver.
They can see the rim now. Nicholson blocking it out, and now they attack and finish for two.
Henry spinning, under pressure, able to toss it in for another two.
He's been good in this competition. 13 points per game for Kane.
As you say, his season's been rather disrupted by injury, but he is back out on court now for Manchester and looking to make up for lost time. Odfeld up in the air. That's short from Ulrich. The tip doesn't go, but they still have possession of the ball. Graver, deep three, back iron, another offensive rebound. Odfeld will fire it up. His shot is short, and finally Manchester get their hands on the ball. Adetsukasi has a lane to the basket. They went a little too far. Got stuck under the backboard, but he was fouled in the process.
And that's a great pass in transition. The cross-court pass in transition up the floor is so difficult to defend. See it time and time again. Just a simple cross-court pass, defense on their heels. Adetsukasi did a good job drawing the foul.
Well, Tim Adetsukasi basically on his own at the free throw line for the first one.
6 players have already scored for Manchester. Some nice balance in that attack so far.
Now Adetsukasi stretches the lead out to 16. Lamo dancing his way through the key for two.
Good move. Nice footwork to finish at the rim. Again, no Nicholson. Good look.
Here's Johnson. And, well, they're in this zone here, but they got to know where the shooters are.
Especially Max Jones. He never passes up that open look.
Johnson, he's looking to attack to the rim, and he gets some points on the board.
Gimle settled down here a little bit. I mean, he's still down by a big number, but definitely looking more confident on the offensive end.
Jordan Johnson for three, off the mark. It's 25-11. Oh, nice finish again under pressure. Lamo to the ring. And that's going to cause a timeout here for Manchester with 1:44 to go. Suddenly, again, it's coincided with Nicholson sitting down, but suddenly Gimle able to finish off around the rim, and they have been attacking all game.
Yeah, you could see the difference with Nicholson. You look at his stat line, 0 points, 0 for 1 field goal, only 2 rebounds, but a plus 15 on court. And you remember, no Duke Shelton tonight, didn't make the trip. Saboyan out as well. So Manchester, with Nicholson off the floor, are a lot smaller than usual, and had Kane Henry at the 5 there. So good job by Gimle being able to take advantage of the fact that there's not a lot of size underneath that basket.
Well, that's the thing. You mentioned Shelton. Obviously, he's another guy known for blocking shots, and we've seen in Super League basketball the excellent defensive presence of Saboyan. So they all mixing and matching in that spot.
Yeah, and I think it's been effective for them this year because when you look at their front court players, they're all different. Obviously, Nicholson, standing underneath the basket, blocking shots, a passer and a screener. Also, Boyan, an assist guy, puts it down on the floor. Shelton plays with that energy and that finishing ability on the basket. So throughout the season, they've been able to mix and match, especially with all these games they have, playing domestically and in Europe. They have options all the time up front. Tonight, maybe not so much.
Well, they still have a cushion here, Manchester, but it's not as big as it once was. They led by as many as 17. It's just 13 now. It's deflected away.
Came out of the timeout and 1-3-1 zone there. So whatever Manchester called in the timeout probably was neutralized by the change in defense.
Johnson gets into the middle, and that should be where the strength is in a 1-3-1, but he's able to get that shot away. Here's Javonte Johnson at the other end, almost loses the ball, able to keep possession. Knocked away, and eventually Carey comes up with it. Jordan Johnson. Again, he goes right down the middle, but unable to finish. Johnson. Savage is open underneath. Good pump fake, and he lays it home.
Good decision by Johnson. He's averaging 4 assists a game in the competition. He could have hoisted that 3. But after Johnson on the other end fell down, it was 5-on-4.
Mondale drive and kick out to Carey. Here's Henry. Johnson. Back to Henry, who tosses it in for 2.
Really like watching Johnson handle the ball and pass. So slick with his decision making.
Looking to toss it inside to Staff. Spinning baseline. Steps underneath, and he's fouled by Kyle Carey. And that will be 2 free throws here for Halbad Staff.
Staff had the size advantage on Jordan Johnson in the post. Did a good job with the spin move. Staff, only 2 games in the ENBL for him so far, but in the 2 games, he's averaged 14 points per game.
You can see why, although he doesn't knock down that first free throw. Nicholson checking back into the game for Manchester.
And that was his first free throw miss of the competition. He was 9 of 9 before that.
Well, he goes 0 for 2 here.
Some missed opportunities so far for Gimle. They've had some good looks that they haven't knocked down.
Shot clock is off. Manchester looking to take it to the buzzer here. Carey fires it up with 4 left and splashes the 3. The perfect way to end the quarter. And Manchester with 32 points on the board. We talked at the top of the show about their offense. They've put some big numbers up on the board in this competition, and they've started like they mean to do so again tonight.
Yeah, 91 points per game and 32 already on the board, but a nice balance attack from them. And Kyle Carey with his second 3 of the game, nothing but net.
Well, from a Gimle point of view, we haven't got to the end yet, honestly. I mean, they took a while to get on the board. They did manage to get a little bit of offense going, but they haven't managed to slow Manchester down at any point.
They haven't, and obviously the best defense a lot of times is good offense. And when you look at Gimle, they're 7 of 22 from the field, but 0 for 6 from the 3-point line. That's a stat that's they've struggled with in this competition. Only 31% shooting from 3, and if they're going to have any chance, to keep up with this high-powered Manchester team, well, they're going to have to bury those open jump shots.
Oh, they certainly are. Manchester 5 of 9 by contrast from behind the arc, so they've got more points from the 3-point line than Gimle got in total in that first quarter, and that's a huge difference in the opening 10 minutes. And what did you think of switching up to the 1-3-1 zone? I don't think Manchester will have seen much 1-3-1 zone this season.
Well, when you're struggling, with this high-powered offense, you have to mix it up here and there, try to keep them off balance. I thought they did a pretty good job of that, but eventually, good players, good teams, especially teams that are well coached, will figure out those quote-unquote junk type of defenses. So I'm not sure how long you could stay with it. You got to give it a try.
Well, Savage gets us underway here in the second quarter. Graver with the ball. Savage pumps on the three, throws it inside instead. Well, he had an opportunity right at the beginning there, Staff, but he didn't quite ever have the ball under control.
Especially with Nicholson there. Again, he didn't block it, but he changed it.
Johnson takes it at the top of the key. Back iron. Martindale chasing down the rebound, gets fouled in the process. And that one's going to go against Kjærstad.
That's their fourth offensive rebound. Manchester. Judson Martindale. Not many minutes for Judson this season, but tonight, some players down. He should get a good opportunity to show what he can do.
Sutton into the game for the first time. Johnson with the crossover, runs into traffic. Nicholson trying to keep it alive. It's out of bounds as the shot clock expires, so they will call a 24-second violation. Gimle bringing it forward with Graver. On to Johnson. Back to Graver. Savage pops out for another three. Finally gets one to go.
That's going to be there all night with Nicholson. If he's going to, play that drop coverage, he's going to be open for those threes. It's just a matter if he knocks it down.
Well, away they come. Staff tosses it back. Back again to, well, surprised that didn't go up there from Savage. Johnson now, 6 on the shot clock. Dances into the key. Savage a little closer. He might get three the old-fashioned way as he takes the contact.
Well, that was a great possession there. The ball moved from side to side, passed the ball around. And again, Johnson showing his ability to pass with a slick pass in the middle. He made the play, and Savage knocked it down. You look at Savage on the season, he has made 5.2 free throws per game in the ENBL, which is 8th overall in the competition.
Well, a chance for his first one here today, although that rattles out.
0 for 3 so far from the free throw line for Gimle.
Johnson into Nicholson. Now Carey, he's going to let it fly from the top of the key. Front iron on that one. Johnson with the rebound. Pressure on the ball for Staff, but he loses his man. Nicholson couldn't quite hang on to the rebound. That one goes out of bounds.
Wow. Gimle really patient on offense, waiting for you to make a mistake. But unfortunately for them today, when Manchester has made the mistake and given those open shots, especially from the three-point line, they haven't knocked it down. 1 for 8 so far. For Manchester, they haven't played many of these games where they have these big leads. Most of these Super League basketball games are tight all the way through. Let their foot off the gas a little bit.
Although Nicholson able to disrupt that pass and a chance to run and right down the middle, out it to Cassie for the easy jam.
2 points, number 22, Tim Azutukasi.
Savage. Back to Johnson. Johnson with the spin. Nice little kick out to Ordfell in the corner. His three doesn't go. Nicholson can't quite keep that alive, and actually Manchester will come away with it with Irvin and Savage with the take foul at half court.
Again, a wide open three from the corner. Javante Johnson does such a good job finding his teammates, but they just can't get it to go.
Well, no bench points as yet for Gimle. Ordfell had the chance there with that corner three. Jones back into the game, has the ball for Manchester. Up 15 in the early stages of the second quarter. Nicholson looking for a whistle, but the only one that he hears is possession to Gimle.
Had a good position there, a good little pocket pass, but just didn't do a good job of finishing. And you wouldn't want that one back. You don't get that many opportunities, especially, on this team. Nicholson, doesn't touch the ball that much in scoring chances. When he does, try to knock that one down.
Raver brings it forward. Lama now. Down to Johnson. Johnson backing his way down. Fires it up and over Nicholson. He doesn't quite get the drop. Jones penetrates. Dishes it out to the corner. Out to Cassie. That's his favorite spot on the court.
Great pass, too, from Jones to be able to find him in the corner. And, yeah.
Another big block from Nicholson. Manchester out and running. It's a little far in front of Irvin. Keeps it in play, but turns it over. And out to Cassie. Commits the foul so that his team can set up their defense.
Another good play. We keep saying it over and over again, but Nicholson is just controlling the paint.
Well, fourth block of the game for him. Timeout is called. That lead was seemingly shrinking a few minutes ago, but it's back out to 18 now, Rob.
Yeah, in Manchester, when you turn the basketball over or take a rush shot, they are so quick getting up the other end. It's so important as a team to have balance back, and Gimle's done a poor job of containing them in transition tonight.
6:28 to go here in the first half. Gimle basket 19. Manchester basketball 37. Remember, Manchester looking to punch their ticket to the playoff rounds. They will guarantee themselves a top 16 finish with victory here today. Gimle cannot make the top 16, but just trying to go in search of a second win of the campaign. Woodfield. Under pressure from Henry. Savage up top. Here's Johnson. 6 on the shot clock. Johnson out to Savage. Open for another 3. And he knocks it down, his second of the game.
Well, that was a screen and re-screen. Screen once, go one way. Screen again, go the other way. And guess who? Johnson with the pass.
Well, Smith steps into the 3. Henry going after the rebound. Couldn't quite come away with it. Graver brings it down court. Well, Ordfell again in the corner gets his own rebound behind the back pass. But Alamo chose probably wisely not to go up with it. Savage drives, kicks it out, shot clock low. Ordfell's had a few shots from that corner. He hasn't got any of them to go as yet. 0 of 4 from the three-point line.
Yeah, again, they're getting good looks on that three-point line, just not knocking them down. Savage, the 38-year-old, with the no-look pass to the corner. It was a great pass, but no luck again from beyond the arc.
Graver gets it right back from the inbound, but overcooks the shot. Henry. Smith. His pass is a little behind Henry. Did well to keep it in play there. And Smith picks it up. Doesn't go. Again, a little slow to the rebound. It's almost a turnover. Johnson was struggling a little bit there. He still is struggling, Javonte Johnson. I don't know if he caught one in the mouth or something. Shot clock low here for Manchester. Jones needs to get it away. Beats the buzzer. Nicholson on the offensive glass. Through the contact. Couldn't quite get it to roll. But he will go to the line for 2.
When Manchester wants to on that glass, they can be so difficult with this team tonight. And, you know, anytime they've really attacked that glass, they've been able to come up with the ball.
From the Gimle players, we'll get back to who that is on. That's
Well, substitution. Sees Staff check back in. I think the foul was eventually given against Oddfellow. Nicholson at the free throw line. Well, he's had an awfully big impact in this game, Matt Nicholson. That's actually his first point of the game. And he goes 1 for 2.
7 of 13 from the free throw line in ENBL competition coming into this one.
So he's keeping his average going, is what he's saying there with the 1 for 2. Here's Staff under pressure. Nicholson trying to get the rebound, but good hustle. A nice pass as well, and a super layup. Great play on the glass. Lamo getting the points.
Gimle playing hard out there, really competing. They're a little awkward at times, you know, with some of the shots that aren't falling, but their effort has been there all night.
Well, certainly plenty of effort on the offensive rebound. Here's Henry for 3, and he knocks it down. They just, whenever they needed one, knocked down threes, Manchester. 7 in this game already. Savic looking to reply with 3 of his own. Doesn't get it to go. Ball is batted loose. Again, they've crashed the grass really well, Gimle. Foul is called. It's going to be on Max Jones as Staff was spinning baseline.
Anytime Staff feels like he has a smaller player on him, he goes right down to the post and does a really good job of getting position.
Well, it's given away there. Jones comes up with it. Around to Henry. Henry's shot is blocked. Tremendous defensive play. Savic can't hit the 3. And again, another offensive rebound. And all the way, I thought it was coming out for a second, but Graver's layup does go in for 2. And Manchester are going to call for time again. A good spell for Gimle.
Yeah, good timeout from Manchester. You really feel like Gimle's playing harder than Manchester right now. Going to the glass, getting all the loose balls. And that happens sometimes when you start out with such a big lead. A good timeout from the coaching staff in Manchester to try to regroup.
Well, it's a bit of effort, really, from Elias DeMornay. Last couple of plays going after the offensive rebound. He hasn't always got it. Maybe he's just tapped it. Maybe he's fought away for it. But again, it's that effort. And we're talking about bench contributions. They've still got no points off the bench, but they've certainly got a lot of heart, desire, and impact off the bench.
Yeah, and you can see that. You know, the offensive rebound would jump off the page. And if you're in the huddle right now for Manchester, that's got to be the topic of conversation. 11 offensive rebounds I have them down for so far. And the majority of them are long ones where the effort, where they keep going and going and going.
Well, that's presumably what Coach Houghton has been chatting about now in this timeout as the two teams make their way back out onto court. 3 minutes from halftime. Manchester's lead most of the game has been in double figures. They jumped out early, quickly into double figures, but they've not been able to get to 20, and likewise, Gimle has not quite got it back into single figures.
And you look at the three-point shooting, both teams have attempted 15 threes. Manchester have made 7, Gimle made 2.
Well, there's the difference right there. There's the 15 points between them. Jones. Added to Cassie. Around it comes to Smith. Smith steps back for 3. Tough shot. Makes it look easy.
They have tough shot makers on this team. And P.J. Smith with that pullback jumper. Sweet move.
Graver turns the corner. Gets it back, fires up the three, and he hits. There's the third three of the game for Gimle.
Good ball movement from Gimle again. They don't settle for that first look. They keep it moving to try to get a better one.
Oh, Graver had been 0-4 from behind the arc before that one went in. Nicholson trying to find out to Takasi. It might get there in the end. It's going to be a hell ball. Possession arrow will mean Manchester keep it.
Takasi was open on that. Short roll to Nicholson. Just didn't deliver it on time.
It's into Irvin. Back to Smith. Smith again with the step away. Not this time. Rebound is grabbed by Yaratha. Oh, just lost out of the hands of Reda Graver, out of bounds.
Graver had an opportunity there to refuse the screen and go to the basket. Just lost the ball. And that's another turnover for Gimle. They've turned the ball over 6 times so far in the game. Manchester has 7 off those turnovers.
Last 2 minutes of the first half. Manchester with the ball and a 15-point lead. Smith out to Henry. Henry lines one up off the mark. Savage with the rebound.
Same look he made before.
Well read by Max Jones to steal it away. Jones zips it across to Irvin along the baseline, tipped by Henry, doesn't quite get it to go, and Gimle able to come away with it with Johnson. 3 in the corner, comes off the back of the iron for Graver, gets the ball back though.
Good job by Irvin denying Johnson there.
He gets the ball in the end, and a nice pass, and right underneath for the easy slam. Harvard Staff throwing it down.
4th assist for Javante Johnson. Been impressive delivering the ball tonight.
35 seconds to go. Jones open for 3. Savage with the rebound. Well, could they get it back to 10 here with a few ticks left of the first half? Johnson stepping in, drops it off to Savage, tosses it up, not quite, but another offensive rebound. Staff again, rocking the rim with a two-handed throwdown, and the gap is down to 11.
No Nicholson, right to the rim for Staff with the two-hand flush.
Last few seconds of the first half. Jones is going to fire up the 3, in and out, and a great finish by the home team here. Having trailed by as many as 18, they've cut it down to 11 at the half. And again, it was some great play from Staff at the basket.
Yeah, they were able to get those offensive rebounds. I think that was so important in the game. You know, you look at it, they're just out hustling them on that glass. They have 12 offensive rebounds, but they held Manchester to only 12 points in that second quarter.
And they've got double figures in second chance points as well. Gimle, much better finish to the first half than they had at the start. And they'll actually be looking back to those first few minutes and think, actually, we could have been right in this game if we just managed to start a little better.
Well, sometimes as a coach, you go in the locker room and you can be Mr. Positive. And if I'm Mr. Positive in this locker room for Gimle, I'm saying, we're getting the looks. Don't worry. They're going to go in, just keep the fight. And they fought that second quarter.
Well, I'm sure Coach Escalante will be saying exactly that. We're at the half here in Bergen, and it is Gimle basket 33, Manchester basketball 44. Rob and I are going to take a little pause, and we'll be back with you with the second half.
Alexander skal begynne først, og det er ikke lettere, men disse gutta, de er bra til å spille rullebasket, skal vi se her. Modesten, det var Alexander. Er det da Petter? nesse disse gutta her. Alle tre var nære. Alle tre var nære. Ingen traff. Men vi høyner premien. Nå premien et gavekort fra pizzabakeren. 500 kroner. Og dere skal få lov til å forsøke dere fra bak 3-poengslinja. Dere kan det først. Igjen pen bue. Treffer plata. Går ikke oppi. Nære. Med fart, det bra. Det sikkert det kan han. Vi ser hver eneste gang gode skudd. Nesten. De får lov til å ta litt hvis de foretrekker det. Ja, det ble for kort. Og dette vil jo da være spesielt hvis vi tross alt sitter i stedet for å stå. Men de skal få lov til å prøve seg. 5000 kroner i premie hvis en av disse guttene treffer fra andre siden av banen. Og de med den gaven er gitt av Sparebanken Norge. Det var ganske bra lengde. Det var en fin bue, men det ble litt for kort. Vi ser, med fart ser teknikken veldig bra. Der kom skuddet, også litt for kort, dessverre. Ikke lett fra andre siden. En mann til, så det stjeler Sætrum. Puls. Prøv med en hånd. Der. En bue, men den er også for kort. Men veldig bra teknikk, veldig bra skuddforsøk fra alle tre gutta. Takk for at dere var med. Ronny, Alexander og Petter. The third quarter will commence in 11 minutes. Johnson til Savic, det blir ikke poeng. 11 minutter til. Gimle fra Johnson til Savic, det blir ikke poeng i andre periode. Vi kan få en jevn batalje her. Det så ikke sånn ut etter i starten av første omgang. Men vi er klare igjen om drøyt 10 minutter.
Welcome back to Bergen, where Gimle Basket and Manchester Basketball are at the start of the second half here, about ready to get things underway. Dan Routledge and Rob Paternostro with you. Manchester leading by 11, but Gimle, Rob, with the chance to get it to single figures here, close as it's been since the opening couple of minutes.
Yeah, great second quarter from them, especially defensively. Only gave up 12 points in the second quarter to Manchester.
Having given up 32 in the first. Foul is called on the floor against Smith, so that will be sideline possession. And you do wonder whether maybe the game started a little too easy for Manchester and they just got a little comfortable, and Gimle have really taken it to them since the second quarter onwards.
Yeah, sometimes it can be too easy to start the game and you lose that focus. But I'm sure Coach Otten, Coach Pitkin had him fired up at halftime to come out and finish this job off.
Staff misses the corner three. They've missed some really good looks in the corner, Gimle. Jones, back iron, doesn't go. Johnson with the rebound. Staff pumps on the mid-range. Cycles back out. Here's Johnson. Staff rolling to the basket, and once again he throws it down.
Well, another good pass from Johnson, and Staff attacking the rim. Manchester have to do a better job of coming over from the weak side. That play was, over near the bench there, and the guys hugged their man on the weak side and gave up the dunk. Always find those pick and rolls below the free throw line can be really challenging for a defense, and that time Gimle really took advantage of that.
Well, Manchester's lead was as big as 18. It's down to 9 now. Smith. Oh, good change of pace. Trying to lob it to Nixon. It ends up in Irvin's hands. Shot clock about to expire, but he beats the buzzer.
Irvin is so good at making layups. You think everybody is, but they're not. He actually is one of the better ones to finish on either side.
Nice steal away from Smith, and the foul to prevent the fast break. Reva called for the foul. Here's Smith into the key, off the mark, and that will go out of bounds for possession to Manchester. And the referee is going to have a conversation about the shot clock here as to whether it needs changing, but 14 is right, so we'll carry on. Out of Tukasi. Taking it to the basket, can't convert. Nicholson keeping it alive, trying to tip it home, and he got it there in the end.
Great job by Nicholson. He's the reason why they kept the possession to play before with his activity. And that time he didn't have to get off his feet. He just tapped it and tapped it in.
Johnson kicks it back out, and Staff knocks down the three.
Staff with the celebration going the other way. He's attacking the rim and shooting the three from deep. Versatility.
Wow. Called against Jürgen Lamo.
Max Jones using that body to draw the foul. Almost like a running back in American football, the way he squares up those shoulders and attacks.
38-48 the score here. Gimle, well, that pass thrown off Nicholson's head. Gimle able to run. Johnson shovels it out. Manchester get back well enough. Lamo looking inside to Staff. Lamo lobbing it to Savic onto Staff. Staff moving them out of the way, and he takes the foul, and Nicholson commits it. He'll go to the line.
Staff, you really like his aggressiveness when he gets towards the basket. He doesn't hesitate, even though Nicholson has about 4 inches on him. Takes it right to the basket. But the other thing you have to like for Gimle is that ball movement. They don't settle. They keep going. So if you're a defensive team, You can't just play 15 seconds of defense. You have to play for the whole shot clock. They really put pressure on you that way by moving the ball side to side.
Well, the lead is down to 8 now. Of course, there was a Manchester team that lost in Norway in European competition last night, the Champions League. That was a massive shot. And Gimle are trying to pull off a shock of their own here, coming back from 18 down. They got the ball back down 8.
And they have the confidence. You could tell on the bench right now, even in the crowd, they feel like they are really making a move here against this Manchester team. Give them credit. It looked really bleak early for them.
Well, when they gave up 32, you were thinking, well, what's the record score here? Because Manchester, oh, here he goes down the middle again. Foul is called. Staff has just looked to dunk everything today.
Well, that time, Nicholson had to come out and get him on the three-point line because he had hit that three before. And Staff took advantage of that and used his quickness to go right by Nicholson. Nicholson thought it was clean, and he was called for the fouls. He tried to block it from behind.
Well, if you were Coach Holton, how far into this quarter would you leave it, given the way things are going, before you call them in and talk things over? Rob?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a guy who likes to save those timeouts. They're valuable at the end of the game, but, yeah, if it keeps up like this, he's going to have to use one early to regroup.
Well, he's going to make a substitution first, as Nicholson is replaced by Henry. Smith, Jones, down to Henry, and it slips out of his hands, and another turnover.
That was a great opportunity for Henry. Expected him to do very well with his athleticism down there, but tough start coming out of the halftime for Manchester, just not looking as sharp as they did in the first few minutes of the ball game.
Well, Jürgen Oddfellows checked back into the game for Gimle. He had some great looks in the first half. Didn't knock any of them down, but wide open threes. Here's Savage.
Wants it back.
Yeah, he does, but Johnson keeps it to himself. And to the running hook, and the gap is down to 5.
The sweeping hook, we love that shot. I'd like to see more of it. Johnson, 18 points per game, guys. Been a little quiet tonight scoring, but good finish for him.
And the decibel levels go up a few more again. Here's Henry, and Savage made sure there was going to be no dunk on his basket, takes the foul.
Good pass from Max Jones. The thumbs down, snappy bounce pass that we don't see that much. Led Henry right in his stride. Actually, a good foul there. Force him to earn them from the free throw line.
Okay, Henry, 6 of 9 from the foul line in ENBL action this season. First one is good. Second one is off the front of the rim. And a chance for Gimle to cut the lead yet again. What a second half this has been so far. Savage driving through, but somehow Irvin just comes away with the ball. Still going Irvin. Zach Irvin, his shot is blocked. Great defensive play from Staff, and they had the opportunity there, but the pass was deflected.
Well, 2 opportunities. You thought Savage had a good opportunity around the basket. Irvin with the steal, and then they had numbers coming the other way, but good play from Max Jones to anticipate that pass and knock it out of bounds.
Savage. Woodfeld. Back to Savage. Savage backing down. Shot clock low. He needs to go to work here. Spins one way, then the other. Gets it off and in off the glass. It's a 4-point game.
Well, Savage likes that matchup. He's going right to the post against Henry with Nicholson off the floor and a little kiss off the glass.
Adetukasi in the corner for 3. That doesn't go. Manchester able to secure possession. Out to Henry. Lines up the triple. Off the mark. Again, Irvin trying to regain possession, but it's Gimle who come away with it. Oh, but great. Oh, no, it's fallen to Johnson in the end. Javonte Johnson's in an awkward spot here. Gets it out to Savage. Late shot clock situation. Oddfell trying to thread the needle there. Broken up by Adetukasi. Manchester with numbers, but turn it over. Well, they got a little lucky there. That it was ended up being at the feet of Graver, and his kick means it's going to stay Manchester possession.
Both teams sloppy with numbers there. Emily had opportunities at the other end with good numbers where they didn't score, and that time, 2-on-1's got to be a bucket for Manchester. I thought the pass to Irvin was behind him at first, which messed up the play.
Jordan Johnson up in the air, trying to find a pass, and it's out off the foot of Jones, and Manchester just keep turning the ball at the minute.
They can't really even get a shot off. You know, this is a team that had 32 points in the first quarter. They've had only 17 since then.
And it's really turned the game on its head. And Gimle can get back to within a shot. They haven't been that close since the first couple of minutes of the game. Graver, little hesitation, floats up the pass, but it's broken up. And Carey out in front. Manchester get 2 much needed points.
Good job by Carey. Once he saw the ball was stolen, he took off and finished for 2. Gimle with some poor passing the last few possessions around the rim.
Staff looking to spin one way and then the other back to the middle. Now to the baseline. Steps underneath. Great footwork.
Oh,
He's got a technical though, because he's had a little celebration to let Carey know about that, and he's been punished for it.
that was a heck of a move. Pivot, up fake, and finally finish. But poor technical there. They don't need that when they're coming back into the game to give away any free points.
Well, timeout has been called by Coach Escalante, but he'll be really pleased with the way his team came out of the locker room. I mean, they finished that first half really well, and they brought all of that momentum into the second half.
Yeah, I mean, when second quarter, you look back on it, 19-12, now 12 in the third.
$47-51 the score here. Gimle winning this quarter, doubling Manchester up 14 points to 7, and really putting the visitors under pressure. There will be one free throw here for Manchester for the technical that was called on Staff, which Jordan Johnson will take. And then we'll go back to the end line ball at the other end for Manchester.
Halvard Staff, 14 points so far. Exciting dunks. Only 20 minutes of action, so it's really been the catalyst for this Gimle team to get back into this ball game.
Well, Manchester's lead is back to 5. Can they regain their poise and start taking a little better care of the ball? Johnson stumbles. It's almost another turnover, but Henry's able to pick it up. Bodges his man out of the way. Flop warning is the call, and 2 points for Kane Henry.
Good, strong finish from Henry. He's got athleticism and strength. 12 points for him.
Javonte Johnson slicing between 2 defenders will go to the line for 2 free throws.
Talked about Johnson. He's averaging 20 points per game domestically, 18 in the ENBL. He's only taken 5 shots today for 6 points. He does have 6 assists and 4 rebounds.
Well, there's still plenty of time for him to get to his average, and you feel like if he does, that was going to put them in some sort of position to potentially win the game. Knocks down what is his first free throw of the game. He's also got 3 steals to his name as well to add to his stat line. Jordan Johnson. Henry gets to the mid-range, leaves it short. No offensive rebound anywhere to be seen. And a quick run of the floor. There we go. He couldn't get one in the first half, Oddfell, but you just knew at some point it was going to come back to him. And he knocks down his first 3 of the game.
Keep firing. If you get those open looks, remain confident. And maybe that was the message at halftime. Keep letting them fly.
Well, they were actually the first bench points of the game for Gimle. They've got all the way into the late stages of the third quarter, but the important thing is it's made it a 2-point game, Rob.
Wow. They have the confidence now. They feel like they can grab this one. And that's been done with a lot of hard work. It's not like they've been shooting the heck out of the ball. They've had to work and fight and scrap. But again, I think the defensive end is where they've really turned it around. Only 10 points in this quarter for Manchester.
And I think credit to them as well, because it had been quite easy. You get down 18 in the first quarter. You've got nothing technically to play for because you can't make the playoffs. It'd be quite easy to go, you know what, we'll just save ourselves for the weekend and the next domestic game. They've come out here, played hard there after this win.
Well, when you look at it individually, for a guy like Javante Johnson and some of these younger players, this is their opportunity to show, Norwegian League, maybe not known as the best league in the world, but this is their opportunity to play against different competition and show what they have. And they're taking advantage of that now.
Certainly are. Manchester under pressure, nearly turned it over again. Irvin. Carey, too strong. Offensive rebound from Henry. Johnson. Oh, it's stolen away. Javante Johnson running it back. He'll circle out and wait for reinforcements. Oddfell, extra pass. It comes back to Oddfell. His shot is blocked. And Manchester come away with it.
Good play from Henry. Didn't give up on that play after the turnover. Came up with the big block.
Jordan Johnson for 3. Well, just seconds after Gimle could have tied the game, Manchester push it back to 5. Oddfell, nowhere to go. Well, Ulrich on the floor wanting a foul, nothing doing. Jordan Johnson. Round to Adektukasi. Adektukasi trying to muscle his way to the rim, doing exactly that, but Ulrich does enough to put him off. Savic. Oh, it's stolen away. Manchester have it back. And through the contact basket is good for Zach Irvin. I think that one's going to go against Håkon Ulrich. And a 3-point play opportunity.
And that's going to be their 13th point off turnovers. Gimle, certainly, if they don't win this game, will look back at that stretch of play where they had opportunities, just weren't able to come up with the right passes. Give Manchester credit. Quick hands to force these turnovers and turn them into baskets at the other end.
Well, they had the ball with a chance to tie the game, maybe even take the lead on a 3. Now they're down 7, but still plenty of time left in this one. Inside the final minute of the third. Savic rolling to the rim, Nice little drop off, and what a challenge, but Savage gets it back. He tosses it up, still doesn't go. Bodies everywhere, and it's forced home. I'm not quite sure how Staff found the room, but he did.
First off, Savage with an incredible pass. They weren't able to finish, but they didn't stop. They kept fighting and fighting and fighting. They've been a terror on that offensive glass.
Johnson driving all the way to the rim, and the foul is going to be called on Staff.
Johnson, we've seen him time and time again this year with the slick ball handling moves to get by his defender. That time, dance with it a little bit, and the explosion to the rim to draw the foul.
Well, free throws not been great at either end of the floor today. Johnson makes the second.
Deficit is now 6 points. Manchester in the lead by 6 points.
Greva. Still with him. He's looking inside now. He goes out to Johnson in the corner. Johnson gets his man in the air, shot away just before the buzzer, and that will do it for the third quarter. Well, Gimle basket came all the way back. There's a little bit of discussion going on here. Came all the way back to 2. But as we head into the fourth quarter, there's going to be 6 points between them. There's still some discussion going on between the players. Savage is being pulled away by his teammates. So too is Irvin. They were at the center of the conversation. I think everything is going to calm down now in these 2 minutes. But if you're in that Gimle huddle, you just say another 10 minutes like that, Rob.
Yeah, they won that quarter 21-16. After winning the second quarter 19-12. So certainly positive. I think they'd be a little bit disappointed with the turnovers, though. That was an area where they really let themselves down. 12 turnovers.
Well, this one in the balance going into the last 10 minutes. Manchester with the lead, but only by 6 points. They were up 18 in the first quarter. They'd scored 32 points at the end of the first quarter. They've only scored 28 in the 2 quarters combined since then, Rob.
Yeah, they've struggled to shoot the ball from the perimeter. They've also turned the ball over 10 times in the game. But I think it's that old-fashioned hard-nosed play from Gimle. Wasn't looking too smooth early on. Shots weren't going down. But sometimes you just have to go out there and play harder than your opponent, and they've been able to do that. But give Manchester credit. They were wobbling a little bit there in the third quarter. They came back strong at the end of it to take this 6-point lead.
Well, here's Johnson, whose three-pointer certainly helped that lead appear. Jones backing down out to Nicholson. Nicholson taking it down the middle, misses the jam. Staff with the rebound. Staff. Greva back to Savage. Got a long way into that pump fake. Lobbed up, but short. That's come off Nicholson out of bounds. Gimle will get the ball back.
Good offense there from Gimle. They just don't rush it. They take their time. They wait for that defense to break down. Just missed a good opportunity there.
Mike Pass doesn't have enough to get over Nicholson, and Johnson just had a side of his foot on the line.
It's the second time they've had a tough time inbounding the ball with that play. Manchester obviously scouted it well enough to take the guy in the inbound and have him come out to the wing to stop the pass that they were trying to make. preparation really matters in this game, and you can tell they knew that play was coming again.
Well, not too many issues getting the ball in this time. It's a kick ball from Nicholson, so 4 seconds will be added back to the shot clock.
Sometimes those feet are important. Johnson would have been wide open under the basket. Nicholson would imagine some big feet.
Yeah.
Kick the ball out of bounds.
Johnson. Tough shot. Rearranged off the glass. Javonte Johnson.
Javonte hanging in the air, going left and shooting right off the window.
Back down to 4 with 9 to play here. Johnson under pressure. Knocks it down. Bottom of the net for him.
Nice job by Johnson, getting the defender on his back and giving himself room to hit that little jumper.
9 points now for him. Graver around the screen, gets to the elbow. Back iron. Jordan Johnson with the rebound. Jordan Johnson in attack mode, gets all the way to the basket. He's looking to win this game for Manchester on his own. Graver pushing hard the other way. Henry knocked it loose, but, well, there's some discussion from the referees as to who that came off. It looked to me like it was a Manchester hand last. Well, they're going to go to the monitor and have a check. My initial take was Gimle ball. What did you think, real time?
Yeah, I thought it was off Manchester, and I thought the referee here on the near side had a better look at that. But well, it's nice to have that replay to let you know what went down. But Jordan Johnson doing a really good job in this game. He's now up to 12 points and 6 assists, and I feel like when Manchester's needed a bucket or needed a play, he's really stepped up for them tonight.
Yeah, you think the 3 when their lead was down to 2, and he's obviously already scored a couple of times in this quarter as well. Been really influential. And well, it's one of those games where for Manchester, everybody scored, but nobody's really taken over the game. They've all got 6, 7, 8 points, if you like.
Yeah, I think when you look at the balance that they have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys on the score sheet so far.
Well, that's why you've got the replay, because as we both said, we were on real time. It looked the other way. But now that they've checked it out, it is going to be a Manchester ball. Just over 8 to play. Manchester trying to get their lead back to double figures. Jones into trouble, gets it to Henry, who's fouled from behind by Staff, and he will go to the line.
Jones thought he got fouled on that drive. He just bullied his way to the basket. Sometimes, though, when you miss that shot, you do your teammate a favor by taking all the attention. Henry was able to pick it up and draw the foul.
3rd foul of the game on Staff. There's not really been much foul trouble for either coach to deal with. Well, Henry makes them both. Manchester have a little bit of breathing space once again at 10.
7-2 start here in the 4th for Manchester.
What is the reply now from Gimle? Have they got another run in them? They've had a couple of runs in this one, but when you get down 18, you need a 3rd and a 4th sometimes.
Remember Manchester, no Asaboyan, no Shelton, no Kayam Cleary. He's been playing great basketball lately. Great scorer for them. So down bodies, but fortunately for them, they have a lot of depth, and they're having to use it tonight.
Reva. Staff. Shot clock needs to go up here. Graver's in a terrible spot. Can Staff get it away? I don't think he did. It went in, but after the buzzer, and it'll be a shot clock violation.
Important defensive possession that time for Manchester, and they have really settled down now. Double-figure lead and a chance to add to that.
Johnson, Nicholson, hands it off to Jones. He's going to fire it up for three, and he's going to get caught on the land, so he'll go to the line for 3 free throws.
And Jones came a long way to come and get that handoff from Nicholson. Very difficult to defend a play like that with Nicholson's size when he hands the ball off. You're always trailing. You're always going to be late, and that time too late, and he left his feet. Easy call for the referee.
Well, just a little perspiration where Jones hit the deck. Being mopped up eagerly by 3 floor wipers. And Max Jones can go to the free throw line and push it out to 13 if he can make them all.
Points for Jones. 2 of 7 from the field tonight. This will be his 4th free throw. He's 4 for 4 there, and he'll get another one.
And he makes them all. Manchester back up to 13. Graver pushing hard, under pressure as he was falling over on the shot. Jones zips it out to Adetukasi.
No rush here for Manchester with this 13-point lead.
Oh, Johnson, beautiful play through the defense and flipped it to Irvin for the layup, and no surprise, Gimle with a timeout.
Jordan Johnson, so slick with the dribble. You want to trap me? I'll split it and then make the perfect pass. One of the best baseline players we have in the ENBL or the SLB. Irvin is so good at finishing and cutting around the basket.
Well, the lead back out to 15 here. And you just wonder whether Manchester might well have done enough here at the start of the 4th quarter with this 11-2 start just to put this one away. Gimle have to do all the work again, having got back to 2. Oh, thrown in by Graver.
He's had that shot all night. He hasn't really been effective with it, but that time, a line drive for a much-needed 2.
He's into double figures now with 11. Johnson, he's been the difference, hasn't he? Jordan Johnson in this Manchester pulling away here.
Had no answer for Johnson, especially when he's wanted to get downhill to the hoop.
Almost got a steal there, but he got a bit of Staff's arm as well.
13 for Johnson now with 6 assists, 3 rebounds. He's really orchestrated this Manchester offense, especially when they've been in trouble today.
Nice pass. Javonte Johnson in the corner, found by Oatveld.
Well, Irvin jumped over to help Johnson. He was matched up with the bigger guy. Good job by Gimle recognizing that.
Out to Johnson.
1-3-1 zone.
Lobbed into Nicholson. He misses from close range, and they had to grab. Oh, it's an unsportsmanlike foul. It was a bit of a grab.
Nicholson didn't like it either. You could tell by his reaction. And that time coming out after the made basket out of the timeout, they jumped into that 1-3-1. Manchester did a pretty good job to recognize Nicholson open under the basket.
So Nicholson will go. Is there a challenge? I think there is going to be a challenge. And we're going to see if maybe it was less than. But it's one of them where they've obviously got to see something to overturn their original decision. And it was quite a hefty grab. I hesitate to say I think he got it right, because obviously last time
we were way off.
we were off, but it is one of them where the extra physicality in that situation is usually punished with a more harsh penalty, but we will see.
Remember, Nicholson not the best free throw shooter either, so you know, they probably had the scouting report in the game that if you got around the basket, don't be afraid to give away a foul, but you got to be careful with that. And I always worry about, you know, saying that to my team, you know, foul him hard, you know, if he's around the basket, because, you know, you got to be careful. You turn that into 2 in the ball real quickly.
Well, the original call does stand. It will be 2 in the ball. And Nicholson will see what he can do from the free throw line this time out. He's 1 for 2 on his first trip. And that's the best you can hope for here. Well, he misses them both. But Manchester will get possession from the side. Still leading by 12.
Nicholson, 9 rebounds and 4 blocks. Struggled to score, though. Only 1 of 8 from the field. 1-3-1 still.
Johnson hits another 3. 16 points now for him.
There's that guy again. Doesn't even look like he's breaking a sweat out there. Just calmly walks in to an open 3.
6 assists as well. He's had his hands on a lot of offense. Graver taking it to the rim and jammed in on the rebound. Staff has been looking to dunk everything tonight.
Get him in the dunk contest soon.
Lobbed up to Irvin, but he's forced back out. Smith. Cross court to Ada Takasi. Corner 3. Front iron. Javonte Johnson with the rebound. Graver. Staff. Back out to Johnson. Oatveld. Late shot clock. It's kicked out. Staff has to get it away. Just beats the buzzer and scores right at the end of the shot clock.
They can't stop this guy, Staff. They can only hope to contain him. He is going to the rim, doing it in different ways.
20 points now for him. Johnson out to Smith. Back to Johnson. What about the 3? Gives it back to Smith instead, and Smith knocks it down.
What a play from Johnson. He could have easily shot that shot, but such good court awareness to make the right pass and put it in Smith's hands for the 3.
7th assist of the game for Jordan Johnson. Graver. Clock ticking down again. A little crossover, getting all the way to the basket, but the challenge put him off. Johnson, well, no help, just ran through everybody.
It's that easy for number 11.
3 ball off the mark from Bergen. And Manchester in no rush with 3 minutes to go.
Excellent job on the defensive end from Manchester here in the fourth.
Well, suddenly it's become easy to get to the rim. Last 2 plays down. Maybe Gimle just starting to tire, realizing this one's out of reach now. They certainly put a lot of effort into those middle quarters. Zaf underneath. Well, Manchester's biggest lead of the game is 18. They might get to 20 here. And that will feel a little harsh on Gimle. Although Gimle come up with the stop. There's a man down. Smith slow to his feet.
Yeah, hit the deck. Hopefully he just got poked in the eye or something. It wasn't a lower leg injury. He's coming off the court now. He should be okay.
Well, Jones is going to come in for him.
Tricky little game for Manchester. You give them credit for hanging in there. You know, they had such a big lead and were controlling it so well. And all of a sudden it was gone. They didn't panic, and they look like a group that's played a lot of games together. You know, all these games start adding up. Start getting comfortable with many different types of situations. Once they were able to, hold the fort a little bit on the defensive end, their offense took over to have the big fourth.
Well, Johnson tried to throw it off the back of the Manchester player because he was looking for a pass and couldn't find one. Ends up with a foul. And that is the 5th foul, so it's going to be free throws.
That spot looks like it's been a problem there where they're wiping up.
Well, not for lack of endeavor. Them boys run out quick and work hard.
They're certainly getting the job done. It's like Manchester have gotten the job done in this fourth quarter. 23-12 so far in this fourth. And Gimle had 19 points and 21 points in second and third quarter. Manchester has definitely slowed him down, the business end of the game.
Well, Manchester basketball 2 minutes and 20 seconds away from qualifying for the playoffs in their first season in the ENBL. A 5th win will guarantee them top 16. They've still got a chance to push on and maybe get themselves into the top 8. That's what they're aiming for. Try and get that home tie. And when you get to those knockout games, Rob, you want your own fans behind you.
Absolutely. You don't want to have to travel. You know, obviously this situation here, it's not like an hour bus ride or so.
Yeah.
It's a long day, long couple days. So they'll be pushing on in the last game to try to get that home court advantage. But they've been excellent in this competition. You know, they've done a really good job in all different styles of teams and teams from all over, obviously. Too many have been able to deal with this high-powered offense. Remember, 91 points per game they're averaging.
Well, the interesting thing was at the beginning of the game, they looked like they were going to get well past 91. And then middle quarters, you're thinking, oh, they're going to get to 70 or 80. And now they're looking right back down the barrel of their average. Oh, timeout called with 1:31 to go. 19-point game. There's not a lot going to change in the last 1:31, but you want to make sure you get everything right to the end.
I guess, yeah. You want to make sure you get this out-of-bounds play. Run it well.
67-86 the score here. Minute and a half to go in the ball game. Manchester with the end line ball. Lobbed all the way back to Jones. Jones spinning down the lane to the finger roll.
What a strong move from Jones. Really come alive here in this fourth. Manchester's got contributions from up and down the bench as well. 40 points off the bench for Manchester and only three for Gimle.
That one Oddveld triple in the third quarter is all they've managed to get out of their reserves.
When you look at Manchester, Carey with 8 in 13 minutes. Johnson, who's going to go to the free throw line with a chance to get to 20 now. He has 18 in 22 minutes. And Kane Henry was effective when he was on the floor off the bench with 14 in 20 minutes.
Johnson pushes this way. This is one of those games where you could easily look at the final score and think, oh, easy night for Manchester, particularly if you check the score at the end of the first quarter. But it was anything but in the middle. They will know they were well in a contest. And I go back to that play where it was a 2-point game. Gimle steal the ball away. They're off on the break. You get a score there, maybe take the lead for the first time. Psychologically, that can do damage to the opponent.
Yeah, they had some opportunities, and Manchester did a good job of forcing turnovers just like here.
And Carey will run it back for 2 more, and they're past their average now.
Up to 92. They've done a good job of getting quick hands, knocking balls away, and turning them into baskets on the other end.
Savage down in the low block trying to go at Nicholson. He will draw the foul.
Nicholson admiring the veteran type moves of Savage. Remember, Savage, 38 years of age. A real effective player for them this season.
Well, he's a rebound away from a double-double. 12 points and 9 rebounds for him today. Minus 17, so they've been better with him on the court than off it.
Savage 2 out of 2. Reminding both teams that we will have the awards for the team's best players at the
Well, final few seconds here, maybe one offense each. Well, Manchester might go quick enough to get another one back as Martindale gets some more points off the bench.
2 points, number 33, Judson Martindale.
Savage. Well, here's the mismatch here of Johnson. But by the time they get it to him, they switched him back to Nicholson. Well, 3 ball is good. There's another one for Oddveld. Well, shot clock is off. Manchester thinking about the points difference. You never know, that might be important down the stretch, but they don't get any more. And a good start and a great finish for Manchester basketball. They are through to the top 16 of the ENBL in their first season in the competition. They've beaten Gimle Basket 94 points to 72. The hosts had a great middle of the game, got it right back to 2, but Manchester able to pull away in the fourth and fully deserving of this victory here. It will be a good flight back home to Manchester. They are in the playoffs, guaranteed. Still a chance of that top 8 and a home tie. But for Rob Paternostro, I'm Dan Routledge. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you again very soon. Goodbye.
Referees, we congratulate the team from Manchester. Very, very good last quarter there. There was a 2-point deficit, but they blew it out to 22 points, winning 94 to 72. Da skal også Manchester-laget bort og hilse på dommerne, og så skal de stille seg opp. Vi er klare til utdelingen av mesterskapspremien. to the best player of the match. On the Manchester basketball team, number 11, Jordan Johnson. Jordan Johnson, player of the match. Please accept your award. Congratulations, Jordan. Congratulations to the team from Manchester. All the best for the remainder of the season. And I hope you have a nice day in Bergen tomorrow and a safe trip home to Manchester. Og da takker vi for oss. Det var altså Reidar Greve og Jordan Johnson som fikk bestemannsprisene. Manchester vant ganske komfortabelt til slutt. Det var spennende, ganske lenge. Et stykke ut i fjerde periode faktisk. Neste kamp, den er i Gimle klokken 17 mot Nidaros på søndag.